Okay.
Hi, I'm Andy from Roxbury Farm and Garden Center in Fredericksburg, Virginia. This is the summer of 2012 and it's been hot and dry. This month may be the hottest we've had on record and it's definitely been tough on plants. Naturally, we're all going to get out there and start watering. My most recent garden blog, I talked about proper watering. You clearly want to determine how much water you're applying to your lawn or your flower beds. If you go out and you water it not enough, the water will stay right on the surface of the ground. The plants will rise to the surface and the roots will be right on top, and your plants or your grass plants will just burn right out, or they just won't have enough water and they'll just die from lack of water. If you water too much, you're going to drown them. They have to be watered deeply and infrequently, about ½ an inch twice a week, and it needs to have time to run through the soil so you can have the air get back into the soil. Plants need air and water in the soil. Lots of different products. Rain Drip is a system we sell. It's a portable thing. This is a drip system where you actually custom make it. You come off of your hose bed with a main tube, and then you come off with little 1/4 inch tubes with drippers that may drip 1 gallon per hour or 2 gallons per hour. You can put them in planters, put them in perennial beds, rose beds. You know exactly how much water is going. So you may let a system like this run for 3 or 4 hours. You know exactly how much water you're putting on your plant. They make them for vegetable gardens, kits as well, and container kits. We sell the components by themselves. A soaker hose, like this, is 50 feet long, and it will produce about 59 gallons in an hour. That's the flow rate of it. So if you've got 50 feet of this in a 2-foot wide bed, that's 100 square feet. I think it's going to come out to be about 1 inch per hour. So you'd want to run this anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes a couple of times a week. You don't want to turn it on and leave it for 3 hours or you'll drown your plants. You don't want to run it for 5 or 10 minutes and then turn it off because your plants won't be getting enough water. Wilt Proof is an old wonderful product that's an anti-desiccant, meaning that it keeps the plants from drying out. It's a plastic spray that coats the leaves, but it allows normal transpiration to continue. It's wonderful in the summer because we're losing water from the heat. It's wonderful in the winter because we lose a lot of water from the cold winds. It also makes your Christmas greenery look beautiful. Even if it's a cut wreath, if you spray it with it, it retains the moisture. You can add this to herbicides and insecticides as a spreader sticker and a surfactant. It'll make them spread out and work much more effectively. So, interesting product. Speaking of hoses, you may run into a situation where your garden hose develops a split. Rather than throw it away and buy a new one, you can cut out the split in there and buy a little repair kit and plug in the good ends there and screw it back together, and you're back in business again. Real important to remember, when it's 100 degrees, if you leave that hose spigot on and walk away from it for a couple hours, that water will boil, expand, and split the hose. We have, of course, lots of different sprinklers, like oscillating sprinklers. This is a particularly nice one. Some people say they just build the humidity. You really need to make sure you're putting it on there long enough to make a difference. Really neat old sprinkler we had. Oh, that's a cast iron, called a traveling sprinkler. It looks a little bit like a Alice Chambers tractor. This will do up to 1/3 of an acre. You put it out with the garden hose laid out in the pattern through the yard, and then it hooks to the back of the tractor, and the wheels will follow along where the garden hose is. And the garden hose laying in the grass is what makes it turn and steer and so forth. And then the hose just loops out, gets to the end of the cycle. It has a little stop that it hits, turns it off. So that's one interesting way to water your grass. The last thing I'm going to talk about of unusual things that you can use is an acrylic polymer that you can incorporate into potting soil. It swells and absorbs water, and it really creates a reservoir so that your soil doesn't dry out. Wonderful if you're going on vacation, just wonderful for the health of the plants in general. I'm going to take a tablespoon of this. Actually, we did this about a ½ an hour ago. 1 thin tablespoon of this little plastic granule, put it in there. Then I'm going to pour 2 full cups of water in it. And this is what we would mix into our soil, this granule. After ½ an hour, here we are, folks. Anybody care for a bite? So it really absorbs the moisture. That's 2 cups of water absorbed as that little bit. And that tablespoon would absorb 1 gallon of water. Please do come and see us. It's a tough summer, but we have the answers for proper watering. We have all the different aids you need for watering. We're Roxbury Farm and Garden Center, downtown.